Today, we are gonna study the Preamble of the Constitution of India. Myself, Rahul Vishwakarma, I am an engineer. The Constitution of India. As we know that our Constitution in today's form is outcome of an inspirational effort made by our freedom fighters. जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं, फ्रीडम फाइटर्स ने कई तरह के एफर्ट लगाए, रिवॉल्यूशनरी काम किए और उन्होंने सबसे पहली बार 1934 में डिमांड रखा और 1949 में जाकर हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कंप्लीट हुआ. So it was a very long process and it took around 15 years to have our Indian constitution. Our constitution is made by an independent constituent assembly. The Constitution of India was accepted by the Constituent Assembly on 26th of November 1949 and enforced on the 26th of Jan 1950, and which makes India a sovereign country. So हमारा संविधान कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली के द्वारा 26 नवंबर 1949 को अडॉप्ट किया गया और 26 जनवरी 1950 को हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पूरे भारतवर्ष पे लागू हो गया, जिससे भारत एक संप्रभुता देश बन गया. और इसीलिए 26 जनवरी 1950 को वी सेलिब्रेट इट एज इंडियन रिपब्लिक डे. नेक्स्ट, now we will discuss about the basic features of Indian constitution. So constitution as a whole is a very lengthiest document, so one cannot have a full idea about the constitution. So a basic feature is drawn from the constitution, and I am listing here around 7 to 8 points to have a basic idea of our constitution. First, three-tier government. As we already know that we are having three tier of government nowadays. First, central government, which is on the top. In the middle, we are having state government, and in the bottom, we are having panchayat government. In the beginning, we had only two tier of government, and which is the central and the state. But as we progressed, as we became more and more independent, we introduced a new government at the village level, which is called the panchayat. So now we are having three tier of government. Second, lengthiest written constitution in the world. Our constitution is the lengthiest written constitution in the world and in the human history. So our constitution has a detailed description of any articles, anything in the constitution. Third, federal systems with unitary bias, which means we are having a central government in the top and state government in the middle, and at the bottom level we are having panchayat government. But in the adverse situation, like an emergency situation, the state government and the panchayat does not have a kind of power like central government. So all the power and authority goes to the central government, which makes it a unitary government nature. Fourth, parliamentary form of government. We are having parliamentary form of government, which means the parliament has entitled to make laws and policies to rule our country, and the parliament, the lawmakers in the parliament are MPs, and MPs are elected through direct election from the people, and it is a kind of representative type of election. Fifth, fundamental rights and fundamental duties. We are having several fundamental rights for the citizens of India, and in fact for the benefit of the citizens of India, like right to equality, right to freedom of religion, right to freedom, and like this, the educational rights. There are several fundamental rights available in our constitution, and also for the citizens of our India, there are fundamental duties which is taken from the Russian constitution is also mentioned. Sixth, directive principle of state policies. There are several articles mentioned under the directive principle of state policies, and it is only for the state to take care of the DPSP while making laws in the parliament, and it is the directives given to the government while making laws. Seventh, independent judiciary. Our constitution allows our administration and executive category to have a judiciary which is completely independent and cannot be influenced by any party or any authority. Our constitution is not an outcome of a single mind or single person. There are several peoples working to make the constitution, and we have borrowed principles or facts from the several countries around the world like America, Britain, Ireland, Japan, Russia, Germany, etc. And one act from which our constitution highly took the advantage is the Government of India Act 1935. So now we came to the preamble part. Our preamble starts with we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. And our preamble ends with in our constitution assembly this 26th day of November 1949 do hereby adopt, enact and give ourselves this constitution. And we must take a note of this point is that constitution enforced throughout India completely on 26th of January 1950, but our constituent assembly adopted our constitution on 1949 November 26th. And this is our preamble page which looks like this, so do take a note of this. So let's get on to the facts about the preamble of our constitution. So it is based on the objective resolutions moved by the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू के द्वारा एक ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में पास किया गया था. इसमें कई तरह के पॉइंट्स को नोट डाउन किया गया कि आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन शुड अचीव ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स वाइल मेकिंग द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, और ये सारे पॉइंट्स को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए ही हमको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाना है. So next it sets out the objective which Constituent Assembly intended to achieve. We already discussed this point, and it was intact until 42nd constitutional amendments 1976, in which it has been amended and 3 very famous words added in it: socialist, secular and integrity. ये बहुत ही important point है, and it has been asked in several exams. Our preamble from the 1950 to 1976 it was intact, but in the year 1976 with the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act इसका संशोधन कर दिया गया. सो इसमें 3 नए शब्द जोड़ दिए गए: सोशलिस्ट, सेक्युलर एंड इंटीग्रिटी. सो विल डिस्कस दीज वर्ड्स इन लेटर ऑन. ओके. द infamous Keswanand Bharati versus State of Kerala case of 1973. So our Supreme Court actually in the year 1960 gave the decision that our preamble cannot be amended. But making judgment in the Keswanand Bharati case, our Supreme Court overruled its own decision of 1960 and made it clear that preamble is a part of the Constitution and Parliament has power to amend it. But it is the very important point here, but it cannot amend the basic structure of the Constitution. So केशवानंद भारती केस में ये हुआ कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपने ही जजमेंट को बदल दिया और उसने बोला कि पार्लियामेंट प्रीएम्बल को अमेंड कर सकता है, लेकिन प्रीएम्बल के जो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर है, जो फंडामेंटल नेचर है प्रीएम्बल का, उसको चेंज नहीं कर सकता. एंड आफ्टर सम ईयर्स Supreme Court Judge N.A. Palkhiwala stated a very important statement here that the preamble is an identity card of our Constitution. So do take note of this. Identity card of the Constitution is our preamble. So we are getting deep into the preamble, and now we came here as the preamble is non-justiciable in nature like DPSP. So the things mentioned in the preamble cannot be objected in the court of law. So it is non-justiciable in nature. So there are several keywords mentioned in our preamble. So let's discuss about those keywords. First, the sovereign. So country which makes its own law without any interference of others considered a sovereign country. So India became sovereign country on 26th of January 1950. Before 26th of January 1950, from the 15th of August 1947, India was an dominion country, and you can say India एक dominion था ब्रिटेन का. And second, socialist. As we already know that this term is added by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976, and the socialist with reference to our constitution or preamble means we want to achieve a democratic socialism in our society. Secular. Secular is also added by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976, and the principle of Sarva Dharma Sambhava is accepted, and thus secular term is added in the preamble. So it allows any individual in our country to have any religion without any interference of others. So this is the meaning of the secular. And the next one is democratic. So the lawmakers, MPs, MLAs and panchayats all are elected through elections democratically. So we want to achieve democratic India. India was a democracy and India is a democracy. So this is what it means. Republic. So India became a republic country after the enforcement of the constitution. So no hereditary ruler in India. All the governments in our country, whether it is a central, whether it is state or whether it is panchayat, all are elected through an election. So this makes India as a republic country. So we are continuing here with the keywords in our preamble, and next keyword here is justice. So we want to achieve social, economical and political justice, and there must no discrimination to our citizens of India in this regard. So it ensures this to our people of India. Next keyword is the liberty. So freedom on activities of individuals without discrimination. So any individual in our country wants to do anything, and they are free to do anything without any kind of discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, gender, sex or anything. So this makes our constitution is way better than the several countries around the world. Next, equality. So equal opportunity to all sections of the society without any discrimination. So our preamble, or we can say our constitution, allows us to have equal opportunity in the society without any discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, gender, sex or anything. So this was all about the keywords in the preamble, or you can say this was all about the preamble of our constitution. Stay tuned for the next topic of Indian polity. Thank you.